Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It's Friday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. There's not a lot of introduction today. If you're wondering what we're going to work on, I started doing a pet portrait earlier in the week on Tuesday. I didn't get the opportunity to finish that up on Tuesday, and like I've been busy the rest of this week, so I figured I'd finish it up tonight. I'll go ahead and jump to the full view so I can show you what it looks like as a work in progress. So as you can see, I got a lot accomplished. I think on Tuesday I finished up the face, and since then I've kind of put in a lot of the body. But this is the reference photo that we're working off of. So if I switch back to the other one, as you can see, there's kind of like, well, he's missing his butt. I've got to put that in. And then I thought I'd put in some of the background from the photo reference. Like he is sitting on this like wooden bench. Hey, Toxes, how's it going? Yeah, I'm sorry. Like if you guys want to chat while we're doing this, it is Friday night. We're here to party, so I've got my bourbon here, so we're gonna have a good time. Feel free to chime in on the chat. But anyway, he's sitting on this like wooden bench, and there's kind of like a bit of like I don't know, like tin paneling or something like that. Like I forget what that's called. Anyway, behind him, and there's some other elements in this. So I thought I'd put in some of this background. Are we going to be a great stream? I can tell because I'm all over the place. I'm not very good at explaining things. I'm better at, well, I try to be better at the drawing than the explaining of it. Anyway, I'm just going to jump. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to keep drinking my bourbon, and I'm going to draw. Feels like we were just here. Yeah, like I like streaming on Wednesdays and then streaming on Fridays. There's not like a big gap in between. Like I said, I was hoping to finish up this picture yesterday, but I really couldn't find the time. So I'm like, well, I'll just save it for the Friday stream. I feel like you guys enjoy just watching me draw. You don't really care what I draw. So in this case, I'm drawing a dog butt. So that's what we're drawing tonight. We're drawing a dog's butt. Um, but yeah, so I'm just going to jump right in. Anyway, hopefully you guys have had a great week. I know that my week's been going pretty well. Except that I had to cancel on Tuesday, and then I wasn't able to finish my drawing. But all in all, it's pretty good. I like breaking up pictures like this, like really, like there's a lot going on here. I like breaking it up over several days anyway. Takes a lot of the pressure off. But I don't know. Some drawings take a little while. Some drawings go pretty quick. Like it's okay if it take a little while. Yeah, I'm drawing a wiggle butt. I like it. Thanks, kid. But yeah, I just wanted to finish this up. Maybe tomorrow, if I have the time, I'll draw a new picture, or I don't know, maybe like later on tonight if I'm still up. Like on Friday nights, even after the stream, I kind of stay up pretty late watching TV. I don't see any reason why tonight's going to be any different, depending on how much bourbon I drink. Now, it's totally the opposite when I drink beer. Beer puts me to sleep. So like, if you see me drinking beer on this show, it's because I'm tired already and I just want to take a nap. But I feel bad for this dog not having a butt. Like, I mean, theoretically, you could just kind of like crop it and stuff like that and call it done. But I don't know. I love the markings on this dog, so I want to make sure that they're all in there. I do feel like, with you have some artistic license to kind of compose it however you want. And in this case, I could just kind of crop it like here, and that would still be a beautiful picture. But I'm going to give the dog a bite. I started out doing this landscape. I'm going to keep it landscape. But hopefully you guys had a good week. I don't know, like if you guys are into Star Wars or not, but I watched the Ahsoka. They had 2 episodes come out this week. That's a good show. I enjoyed it. You want to be a mod? What do you want to be a mod for, Toxes? Is that so that I can't criticize you or something? I criticize my mods. Hoolie's a mod. She's in here sometimes. Actually, I should fire her as a mod. She hasn't been in here in a while. What would you do as a mod? I think we call them wrenches around here. What would you do as a wrench? Makes you feel powerful? I don't think I can do it while I'm streaming, but if all you want to do is feel powerful, yeah, sure, I'll make your mod. I mean, I don't really care. Like if you want to be a mod. I uh I don't think I've ever had the need to actually block or remove anything yet. Like I don't want to jinx it and bring bad luck on me because like I don't know if I end up having to start like policing like the chat, then that's pretty distracting from like actually drawing. I'm gonna have to ask somebody else to do it for me. So, but yeah, I figure those are future Jeremy problems. There's Jeremy problems that I worry about today, and then there's Jeremy problems I just kick down the road. But yeah, so like yeah, that was the thing that I wanted to mention tonight. So like I'm a huge fan of like Star Wars and stuff. But I feel like the Disney shows are kind of like hit or miss lately. Like the Marvel Disney shows haven't been all that great with a few exceptions. I really liked WandaVision and I liked Loki. Um Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't too bad. But like, I don't know. I think there's universal agreement that Secret Invasion wasn't all that great. But anyway, on the Star Wars front, I really like The Mandalorian, even though I feel like this last season wasn't the strongest. So I was really concerned going into it whether or not Ahsoka would be any good. But it's good. I like it. For those of you who don't know who Ahsoka Tano is, she's a Jedi. Well, she's not technically a Jedi. She quit the Jedi, but she has like force powers. She was the Padawan or like apprentice of Anakin Skywalker, who of course became Darth Vader. So you would know this if you watched like the Clone Wars, which I've only seen some of them myself, but anyway, she's a she's a fan favorite. And I was kind of hoping they would go the route of like where it's kind of got like a samurai vibe to it, and it does feel like that. Like if the Mandalorian is kind of like a space western, which I feel like it is, um, Ahsoka would be like space samurai show. Yeah, I like the I love the sound of especially on this sanded paper. It sounds really cool. I had to kick one of the dogs out. I'm watching one of my parents' dogs, and she's an older dog, and all she does is snore and like makes weird mouth noises, like licks herself and things like that. And I'm like, "Ah, I gotta kick you out of the room. Sorry." Plus, we're having thunderstorms here, and the dogs usually go nuts over that. So if they start barking for no reason, that's what's going on. Or if I lose power or the stream goes out or something, it's because we're having a thunderstorm here. It does sound like a mouse eating a wafer. You got me all self-conscious, like, sounds really cool. I think it's because it's so close to the mic, but it's a cool sound. I'd like to have like I don't think I'll ever have this, but like it's really hard to I like my dogs hanging out with me while I'm doing these, but I don't think I can have a completely soundproof room. But if I did, I would definitely do like some of those like pencil sharpening noises and you know sketching on the paper because it does sound cool, especially this kind of paper. Sounds like you're sandpapering, which you kind of are. You're sanding the tip of the pencil. Let's see, so I have to judge how far this goes in. I think it stops there, and then this kind of comes down at an angle. And then this is all fringy because there's like some white hairs going into the dark here. That transition point. Like, I like how this looks, but it's not perfect to me. Like, there needs to be like some more black in there, and I think I'll try to get to that tonight. I don't know how long this is going to take because I'm really just drawing the dog butt in the background. Like, in theory, that wouldn't take very long, but I don't know. It never goes according to my thought. Like, I'm terrible at estimating how long these pictures are going to take. But it's not really a race. My goal is to make a pretty picture. I don't care how long it takes. Especially like this stage in my practicing. Um, maybe later on in my career of being a drawer, I might like it's not a career, but maybe like later on in my journey of being a drawer, an artist or whatever, I might be concerned about like how long things take. But right now, I'm not concerned about it. Work on it until it's done. I think that mindset comes from my actual day job, which I've been doing for quite some time now, being a programmer. Um, you can only anticipate so many bugs that come up and stuff, that so many things that you have to fix. It's really a lot of trial and error. And like you can kind of guesstimate how much time. In fact, you kind of have to if you have like a client or something, they expect an estimate. Um, but really, things can and often do go over time because it's just the nature of it. You only know what you know, right? You can't really expect the unexpected. By definition, it's unexpected. So you just have to deal with it when it comes up. Yeah, so Ahsoka Tano is cool. Like I said, they have like 2 episodes out. Um, I am a little concerned because Disney shows, like the Disney shows, always kind of screw me over. Like I love Disney shows, I love Marvel shows, I love Star Wars shows, but it really is hit or miss on the quality. And sometimes they start off strong and they end kind of weak. And I'm kind of hoping that that's not what's happening here because it just started off really strong. And you know, I've been misled before. I feel like the Obi-Wan movie or Obi-Wan show started off pretty strong too, and I don't know. Over time, it became less so. I don't know if it's like they just they just ran out of budget or they just stopped caring or whatever. But I heard on like you guys are just listening to me ramble if you're not familiar with these shows, but I'll talk about them anyway. Like I heard that Secret Invasion, they were like making changes and writing that, literally writing the plot of that show while the show was airing. Like they had no idea the direction that show was going to go. They were piecing together, like I think the quote was that they were literally piecing together the story while it was already airing. And I'm like, man, that's just like how can you run a show that way and expect it to be any good? And then other shows that they create, I don't know, people like don't really talk about them because like most people didn't see it for some reason, but Andor was a really good film or good series, I guess. Um, that show is based on the moments of like the rebellion, like the Rebel Alliance kind of force first coming together, and some of the political intrigue behind that. That was a really, really good show. But then, like, for some reason, not a lot of people tuned in. So I think Disney's hurting right now. Hopefully, they can pull out of it because it used to be I would go and watch Marvel movies just because there was an expectation of a certain level of quality there. I don't know. Disney's kind of slipping lately, though. I mean, I'll still go watch it. I'll watch anything they put out. Hey, Willie Nelly, how's your Friday going? We're drawing Gigi's dog. Um, it's actually something I started on Tuesday, but kind of not Tuesday. Why do I keep saying Tuesday? It was actually Wednesday. Oh, okay, I don't feel so bad then. All right, because if I started on Wednesday and today's Friday, That's only one day that I was slacking. Because usually, like, if I start something one night, I finish it the next day. So this isn't too bad. This is almost finishing it in like the usual amount of time. It's a beautiful dog. For those who don't recall or didn't watch on Wednesday, yeah, it's a beautiful dog. The dog's name is Ringo, and I talked to Gigi a little bit more. So we were talking about the Bentley mark. Uh, I think it's called Bentley mark. Yeah, this little white patch of fur up here. The legend goes that that is where God touched the dog and said, "You're a good boy." Like that's what Bentley marks are about. But then, there was some. I think it was you, kid, that came in and was commenting like, "How's that not a blaze?" It's a blaze to me because I'm used to being around horses, and if you see this on a horse, that's called a blaze. Hey, Marble, how's it going? Happy late birthday! Yeah, this is a beautiful doggy. Dog's name is Ringo. He's a good boy. I love the sound of that scratching. And I asked if it was a Australian cattle dog because that's what I thought, but apparently there's a difference between an Australian cattle dog and a healer. And this one's a healer, and I still don't know the difference. I just wanted to say that I've been educated since then that there is a difference. So if you guys are keeping track of that sort of stuff, I know that you guys probably don't care, but I just want to be accurate and let you know that I was wrong. It's just a healer. He's just a healer. Um, some of the stories she told about Ringo is that Ringo would go with her on hikes and protect her from like, you know, creatures that are out there. Like there's some coyotes and stuff near where she lives, and that's the kind of like actual wilderness that she goes hiking in and stuff like that. And this dog was a constant companion to her, helping her out, and is a guard dog. And she doesn't even have to tell me. I can already tell just by looking at the dog. This dog was probably super smart. I almost guarantee it. But she might have mentioned that too. I don't remember. But kind of looks like a got my thing. Kind of looks like a I forget the name of the dog, but it kind of looks like a dog that I used to have that was I mean, this one's better looking than the dog I used to have, but um the dog was like super smart. So I think the dog I had was I can't remember. It was a while back ago, like when I was a kid. There's been a lot of alien stuff recently, Marvel. Like I felt like they've been talking about that kind of stuff for months. What have you heard recently? I know like the government's supposed to have like I don't know, like they're acknowledging that UFOs may be real. I don't think they said it was aliens. I think they're just acknowledging that they have like UFO video and UFO crafts and stuff like that. They may have said it. I don't know. I don't follow the news as much as maybe I should. So what have you heard there? Oh, the government is confirmed to have actual alien remains. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Eh, non-human intelligence. I think a lot of humans are that. There's a lot of humans out there with non-human intelligence. Well, dogs are intelligent. We were just talking about how smart this dog is. The non-human intelligence, that doesn't say too much. Dogs have non-human intelligence. What makes an alien an alien? Like they have to come from like another. They have to come from outer space, right, to be an alien. So I guess the question is like, how long they've been here, what they've been doing, what are they up to? And is my neighbor one? I keep thinking my neighbor. I hope he doesn't watch this show because like I definitely suspect my neighbor. Viral video about a court case where a whistleblower from the government is confirming that they have non-human remains. Why do they keep saying non-human though? This a dog is non-human. What makes an alien an alien? Why don't they just come out and say like people from outer space? They should say I don't know. Well, I guess they have to be safe in what they say, like because you know they're on the record, they're accountable to what they say. When are they going to start showing pictures of it? That's what I want to know. They've been saying this kind of stuff for years, but it's been like in kind of conspiratorial circles and stuff like that. So it's hard to know what's true and what's not. But if the government's putting an official stamp on it, then that's kind of that's different. That's new, you know? Yeah, from the far future, time travel. Yeah, that's a popular theory. Um, there was a movie about a sphere. I think it was based on a book where it was exactly that. They found a craft and they go to investigate it, and it's got like American flags in it and stuff. And they figured out that it wasn't aliens. It was people from the future that had gone through like I don't know, like a wormhole or something, and went back to the past. That's a pretty good movie. I think it had Dustin Hoffman in it. Sharon Stone probably. I don't remember. There's no intelligence on Earth to be found. You guys are being very, very human centric here. I just said this dog is more intelligent than I am. They're smart. They're smart creatures on this planet, just not on YouTube. That's pretty fascinating, though. Like, like if they go this far to tell like what's going on, makes you wonder what else they're going to tell and when that's coming. Like, I think it's kind of cool. The the thing I always thought fascinating, a little nerdy, right? But technically, we've already found alien life forms. Algae has been growing on the space station. Interesting. So, dude, algae growing on the space station, like, I hadn't heard that one. Like, how did they rule out that it didn't come from this planet? Like, what if it was a hitchhiker on a rocket we sent up, like somebody didn't quarantine or like clean it or something like that, and it had like algae spores or some. Welcome back, Toxes. I love the variety of conversations we have in here. This is a fun one. I was always a fan of like X Files. I know that there was those rocks that I think it was Antarctica or something like that, and they I don't know, they cracked it open or something like that, and they found like things that look well. First off, they determined that the rock was like a meteorite or something like that, so it came from outer space, and then they cracked it open and they found fossilized like I don't know, like microbes or something like that. And that's been like hotly debated on whether or not that was contamination from like being it's somewhere on Earth or something like that, or if that is legitimately from, I don't know, like Mars or something like that. What are tardigrades? You're gonna have to explain to me what tardigrades is. I'm not familiar with that. I can't draw something I don't know what it is. What is the tardigrade? I mean, I'm in the camp that believes that yeah, absolutely, there's probably life out there. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the Drake equation, but I think that was put together by Carl Sagan. But they did a calculation of all of the stars that they can visibly see, and they start crunching the numbers, and they're like, of all the stars that we know about, and all the stars that we can guess are out there based on the ones that we do know about. If you start dicing that up and you start saying, okay, these stars have planets. These stars have planets that are like, the same distance from the sun as ours. These are the amount of planets that may have like water. And this is just about like the life that we live, right? So like we need water, we need air, we need, like a certain temperature. Um, we need the planet to have carbon. All of these different elements make up our own lives, right? So this isn't even counting on like other forms of life that may not be carbon based or something like that, right? So um, so they did a calculation. I think it's called the Drake equation. I'm not a math nerd, so I don't know the equation or whatever. But they did this math and they determined, well, out of all of the planets or out of all the stars that are out there, this amount should have planets. This amount should have planets that have conditions like Earth. And it's still such a huge number that they reason out that it's almost it's almost absurd to say that life doesn't exist somewhere in the universe. Like, and the other thing that they point out is many of these stars are vastly older than our own star, right? So, like, even if you calculate that, life takes a certain amount of time to evolve or something like that, um, they say that there's so many stars out there that should have planets like Earth that should have developed life a long time ago, right? So they argue that life should be abundant in the universe. Like it shouldn't even be like a question of whether or not there's life in the universe. It's almost a given. Um, so that's what's called the Drake equation. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox is the counter argument to that. So the Drake equation was formed when they started doing that SETI search for extraterrestrial life with the big radar dishes and stuff like that. So their idea was that there's so many of these stars out there that should have planets that when they point one of these telescopes in the sky, because radio technology is something that um, should be something that they develop because like many of these stars are much older than our own star, and like radio is just one of those things in nature that they should have discovered. So they theorize that if they point this telescope up in the sky, they should pick up all kinds of radio waves and stuff, and they should pick up some evidence of like external. Yeah, SETI at home. There you go. I've got a book on it up here about the entire SETI program. It's really interesting. I'm glad you guys will talk about aliens because I get into that. So like, there's very few things that I actually really get into. I get into aliens. I don't know about like things like I don't know like Roswell or whatever, but just the idea of extraterrestrials. I really love that. So anyway, so yeah, so SETI, yeah, I hope they're here to further us along because like they could just take us over. So anyway, SETI starts pointing these satellite dishes up into the sky, and according to the Drake equation, there should be like, I mean, basically anywhere they point in the sky, they should pick up some sort of like evidence of intelligent radio communications because should be abundant out there. And the problem is that, yeah, they pick up radio signals and stuff like that, but they haven't picked up anything, at least they haven't told us about anything that they picked up, but they haven't picked up anything that seems intentional and not random, like actually has like an intelligible pattern or something like that. As far as I know. But like I said, there might be stuff that's classified or something that they're not telling us. But officially, they haven't said that they picked up anything, right? So then the question becomes like, well, that's weird. Why is that, right? The life should be teeming with the universe should be teeming with life out there, and some of this stuff should be old enough that they develop technology to that we should be able to pick up. Um, yeah, and so that developed into what's called the Fermi paradox. It's another term that's thrown out there. It was raised by this guy, last name Fermi, um, but he said like if that number is so big, we really should be able to pick up signs of intelligent life out there communicating with our own technology. We should be able to pick that up. And he brings up like, well, it's very strange then that we haven't, you know. So he argues like maybe there is only life on the earth because for some reason, um, like other species or whatever. So there's a couple of solutions to the Fermi paradox. So the Fermi paradox is just basically like, well, if there's so much abundant life out there that has technology, and we should be able to pick it up, it's a paradox then that we haven't, right? So what's the solution to that? Well, people theorize, they go all over the place. So some of the theories are that, well, maybe there's not a lot of life out there. Maybe we are the only planet that just happened to have evolved, um, life. And then other ones go like, well, maybe these other planets have developed life. Maybe they just haven't really gotten into, technology like we have. So they haven't discovered things like radio or, lasers, all these different things that we should be able to pick up. And, all of that kind of stuff is true. But then some people theorize that maybe it is the inevitable outcome of civilization to destroy itself. I kind of subscribe to that one actually because I can see it. Um, but if you think about it, with technology and a better life, you start ending up with kind of some weird, unique problems, right? So, like, one could argue that we have the technology nowadays to make life very comfortable, right? Well, what happens when life is very comfortable? You start losing motivation, or maybe you develop bombs and blow each other up, or all these different ways that you can actually end civilization. And the dark view of the Fermi paradox, is maybe inevitably civilizations destroy themselves, and that's why we haven't heard from them because they've gone extinct. I don't really know. I just think it's interesting. So you mentioned like so if aliens come here and they've been visiting, I think it's interesting because like why are we picking up communications from them? That's what I would like to know. That's the whole point in that big ramble that I just gave. Like at least officially, I don't know. Maybe they have like some classified stuff or whatever, but officially, we don't pick up radio waves. We don't pick up like chatter. We don't pick up any of the things that you should be able to pick up if there's like civilizations out there that are achieving, space travel. Seems like we should. It's odd. Hey, these are my theories. These are other people's theories. One of the things that talks about in that book, like I said, I have a book on SETI, and they give some of the explanations for the Fermi paradox. So one of the, and this is actually kind of sad. So there's a million different ways the universe can destroy us, right? So like, there's this ticking time bomb in the center of this galaxy that they think expands every now and then, and just kind of just fills the entire galaxy with radiation before it contracts again. And they call it the sleeping dragon because like we don't know like if this dragon is going to wake up and just be like metaphorical dragon, but it's just this field of radiation that would instantly just expand and then collapse and basically wipe out all the life in the galaxy at one time. And that's one of the explanations they actually have in the book for why maybe we don't hear from aliens, because maybe they did exist in the past and then that thing happened. and they just kind of all became extinct, and we're like 2.0 on the life experiment. I don't know. I don't know, guys. If I knew that you guys were going to be talking about this tonight, I would have made some notes and stuff because like it is kind of fascinating. But especially if they're actually here, like say there's aliens and they're actually traveling here and stuff like that. Like um, like there's been sightings and there's been, things like that. I'm just wondering like what where's the communications and stuff like that? We should be seeing some of that stuff. We should be picking up the chatter on the secret bandwidth or something like that. I wanna see that kind of stuff. Stop and get involved with this. That's another question that I like to think about. So let's say that there are aliens, right? So if you think about most of the things that make us human, um, all the things that make up our like identity as humans, all our motivations, all of our desires, all of our reasons for doing anything at all, really, it's all kind of terrestrial, right? So, like, I don't know, like a lot of the time people get up and they go to work not because they love the job, but because they have to earn money, right? Well, money is a concept that we invented here on Earth. It's a bartering system. There's no real reason to expect that aliens would have, money problems. So, like, why would they ever go to work, right? So, one of the reasons we labor is to put food on the table so that we can eat. That's our biology. We eat because our biology requires it. Like if we consider aliens, there's no real reason to know. Like there's no way to even know what their biology is. Maybe they're solar powered, right? Maybe they process like they live off the air like plants do. Like plants breathe in carbon dioxide and put out oxygen. Uh, there's no real way to know why an alien would do anything at all, right? So if you start thinking about space travel, what's their motivation for even traveling? Is it just for the sense of discovery? Maybe, but it seems like that's also like a human invention. We're naturally curious. I don't know if that translates to aliens. Yeah, so if they're carbon based, if they're just like us, or similar to us in like needs and wants and stuff like that, like out of survival, maybe they could have decided to set sail on the uh, on the galactic skies. I like that. He's actually making some pretty good point. Hey, are you talking about me? Yeah, I make great points all the time, Marvel. What are you talking about? That's what I do. But it's something to consider. Or are you talking about trusted? If aliens show up, I'm going to tell them that the world tastes like chicken. That is a good point, actually. Everything here tastes like chicken. So I don't know. I just think about what it means to be alien, right? To me, aliens are truly alien, right? There's no point of reference. So it's not like if you grew up, if you were born and you grew up on another planet, any planet, even Mars, you would not have the same experience that you have living here on Earth. Like for example, there's a reason why we stand upright and no, scroll up, Jeremy. Somebody else is making a oh, the guy on YouTube. Whatever. I'm making good points too, I think. Anyway, um, the the there's a reason why we stand up and walk around on 2 feet, right? It's because we used to be monkeys living in trees, and we came down out of the trees and started exploring, like the safaris or whatever. Um, there there's no expectation that aliens would be walking around on 2 feet. There's no expectation that aliens would. I don't know. It just seems like everything we do is kind of terrestrial based, right? Like if you think about some of the. Oh, kid's got a question. What's up, kid? I don't know if you have a question or you're just saying stop. You're probably saying stop. Shut up, Jeremy. I think so. I think that a lot of the motivations that we have as human beings are actually tied to our biology and our the fact that we grew up here on Earth. Like for example, things like love or anger or happiness. Trying to maximize pleasure and stave off pain. These are all things that are tied to our biology because a lot of them are chemical based. Um, it's kind of odd when you try to think about aliens having those same sorts of wants and needs that human beings have. Basically, my question to you guys, and I'll let you guys answer this. I'll shut up about it. I really want to know what you guys think. What reason do aliens have to come to this shithole of a planet? Thank you, Huli. I appreciate it. Like, why do aliens come here? That's my question. Like, I have no problem with the idea that aliens are here. Like, I accept that. My question is why? Well, like, what are they doing here? What are they here for? Because, like, I'm a pretty lazy guy. Like, if somebody said, hey, you want to go and explore Mars just for the fun of it, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I got nothing going on. Thank you, Uli. Like, I don't know. They talk about trips to Mars because that's actually going to be a real technological possibility over the next couple of decades for human beings to be able to go to Mars. And you start to wonder about the people who would volunteer for that trip. Um, people would basically have to be abandoning Earth for good. Say goodbye to like all their friends and family and stuff like that, and get on a spaceship and go out there to Mars with no expectation of ever returning home. So makes me wonder, like, why are aliens even coming here? I don't know. Maybe they're coming to like actually help. Like somebody mentioned, help. Like maybe they're here to help us out. Maybe they're here like, yeah, you guys done screwed up this planet. You guys are gonna need some. You're gonna need some transport ships. Um, you're gonna need some. You're gonna need some health packs. Like, you guys need a lot of stuff. You guys are in some pretty bad shape. So yeah, we're just gonna help you out, and we're gonna contact your government. Start with them, because like they need to order some spaceships from us to get you guys all off this planet. It's a great discussion, by the way, guys. Yeah, it's true. Like if we like theoretically, what happens on this planet does affect other planets. Um, that rock that I was telling you guys about that they found in Antarctica, like you guys probably already know about that story, but the guess is that it's actually a Martian space rock that was kind of blown to this planet, right? So like say we did do some biological damage to this planet, there's no real reason to say it's going to stay on this planet. Things like that do happen. Like some asteroid might explode on this planet and cause space dust to go out there and infect other planets. I don't know. Carbon scrubbers, energy sources. Like, I don't care what they do for us. Like, we need it. We need some help. It would be nice if they were like altruistic. But again, I keep coming back to that. That's not exclusively a human trait, but that is something that evolved here on Earth, right? So like even dogs travel in packs and stuff for the greater good. Um, and they try to like dogs help each other out because like in their packs or whatever, but it's for like survival. And like the concept of survival is here at least is pretty terrestrial. So it's like I just get kind of stuck thinking about that kind of stuff. Like, what would be an alien's motivation? It's literally alien. Like, there's no way of figuring that out because you have nothing to relate it to. Like, you can apply, like, you can anthropomorphize a dog, right? Or you can anthropomorphize, like my glass of bourbon here. I can anthropomorphize this and say this is my best friend in the entire world. I can talk to my glass. I can have a friendship with my glass of bourbon. Um, but it's just a glass of bourbon, right? So like I can anthropomorphize aliens so that I can relate to them. But really, that's just smoke and mirrors. The truth is, you can't really relate to the alien experience because, like, everything you know is here on Earth. You can't, like, there's just no way to figure out what it's like to be an alien from, say, Mars or wherever. I'm probably not making a lot of sense. So, your guess is as good as mine on why aliens would be here. I have no clue. Yeah, yeah, they might be here to mine stuff. They might need humans for something. Like, that's why there's all those alien abduction stories. I don't know. Don't know, guys. You got me stumped on this one. That's my best friend, Marvel. Christopher Columbus was as close to alien travel that we know. Well, that's a pretty good example. So, like, when Christopher Columbus, or probably before Christopher Columbus, Europeans stepped foot in North America. I'm thinking like Vikings were probably here before, and definitely Native Americans were here long before, because that's who they met when they arrived. Alien culture would be like describing Native Americans to Europeans and vice versa. So, like, if say you're a Native American and you're standing on the shore and up rolls these like ships with these big billowy sails and stuff, you're literally stuck on stupid there. You're like staring at this like, what am I seeing here? This is so bizarre. I can imagine that was a weird moment to see that kind of stuff. Like, you're seeing basically the for the first time ever these weird ships pull up, and then these rude people get off and saying, yeah, you guys want some beads?" That's a good example of like what it would be like to meet aliens, I think. Well, I'm glad you're hanging out with me, Willie, so that you don't have to do like your work. I like being a distraction. Drawing pictures is a great distraction. That's why people doodle during meetings. I was listening to somebody talk the other day, and I like, like people draw like little circles or like stick figures or something when they're in a meeting. I drew a water bottle. I should share that with you guys if I can find it. I'm glad this dog has a foot. I was so worried about it. Multitasking. Nice. There you go. Maybe they need our DNA or something like that. Like maybe there's something in their biology that they're lacking or something, and like literally human resource. Like they need something from us, biologically or whatever. Who can say? It'd be nice if like somebody interviews these guys. Depending on how long they've been here, maybe we form some sort of communication with them. Like we can actually talk to them. Because like all you have to be is like semi-intelligent, and you can find ways to communicate. Like humans and dogs, we communicate. We don't speak English to each other. Well, actually, we do. I speak English to my dogs, and especially Guinness. Guinness recognizes basically every word there is for food. He knows pizza. He literally was looking himself and he paused for a moment. I don't know if you get. Yeah, he knows every word for food. So if we can teach dogs words for that, at some level, there's going to be some alien communication going on. There is a theory that they made us. Then I guess the strangeness between aliens and human beings wouldn't be that odd because if they made us, then there might be some commonality there. That's a good point. I like that one actually because it's not entirely clear where life on this planet comes from. The I think the prevailing scientific theory is that we just kind of spontaneously generated in a primordial soup, but you know, maybe that was helped along. We don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys know. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. The movie Arrival. Amy Adams. Great movie. Yeah. Basically, if there's two like intelligent creatures, they can figure out some sort of communication. Because it's basically just demonstrating intent, right? So like I move this pencil over, you wonder what that means. I can demonstrate, well, I'm moving it over here because I'm done with it, right? So now you know that I'm moving the pencil because I'm done with it, or whatever it is. I feel like these aren't art questions. I'm not in my comfort zone here. I have to make up opinions on everything that you guys bring up to talk about. Your dog speaks English? That's cool. Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about. Dogs understand humans. You guys, dogs are a great example, I think. Well, so that I don't know. Are dogs the best example? Um, I was thinking that dogs have a long history of being human beings' companions, right? So from that standpoint, they're kind of predisposed to understand communications that we give them. Like dogs have basically lived alongside a human being so long that they're prone to understanding what humans want and expect from them. Like they've basically been our companions for as long as we've been around. I have to remind my dogs that they're. Oh, thank you, thank you. I like this dog. This is looking pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Um, I have to remind my dogs because, like, I don't know, sometimes they act like losers, to be honest with you guys. Adorable losers, but still losers. I have to remind them that they're descended from wolves. Like, I tell them, like, you're basically relying on a monkey, me, to help you out here. And you guys should have a lot more pride in yourselves because you guys are literally descended from wolves. Like, show some pride, guys. They don't find that very nice though. They're offended by that. They don't respect me sometimes. Like I think they've caught on that I'm descended from monkeys, and they're like, "Why should we listen to you? You're just a dumb monkey." And they're right. I really can't argue with that. Yeah, yeah. I agree. They're right. You're descended from wolves, guys. They don't care. They're like, "Shut up, monkey. Get back to work." What if I don't think I've shown any of my dog drawings to an actual dog. I wonder what they think of them. Oh no, that's not right. When I drew Dennis, I put it up in front of him like, um, Is it like a mirror? Yeah, dogs herding sheep is hilarious. Dogs basically doing anything is hilarious. They have to know how funny they are at least, right? Like dogs. Because sometimes they do things just to, like my dog will bring me toys to play with him. Like he's got to understand on some level that the toys are as enjoyable for me as they are for him. Because he'll bring the toys, and I think it's to make me happy to play with them. I mean, they have to understand that on some level. Like they're smart dogs. The dogs are smart. Some dogs are dumb. Oh yeah, ape. Not monkeys, apes. I think I think I think I messed up when I was drawing that ape or the gorilla that I was drawing. I kept calling it a monkey. It is not a monkey. They're totally different species. Yes, yes, monkeys are descendants of human. What? Where did you hear that one? That may be true. I just never heard that one. I have never heard that one. I guess I should probably talk about my drawing a little bit. So like it's just basically layers of pastel over layers of pastel. Each time I go over it, I add a little more definition. It finally it'll finally get to where I want it to be. It is kind of challenging on some of these because like you've got some very fine like white fur that's kind of sparsed in here along with the darker fur and kind of like separating them out without making it look like a mess. That's a bit of a challenge. All right. Well, I want to kind of add the features here real quick, and then I think I'm going to move into I don't know if Trusted is joking or not. He might actually believe that. Trusted's read a lot of books. He's got some ideas. Like I've listened to him talk before. He's got some views on things. So he might be serious there. So I think after I get this paw kind of roughed in, I'm going to move on to the background because like I want to make sure that I do leave time for that. So that you guys can get a general idea of what it's going to look like finalized. Like this through here is just some details that I can add. I don't think they're essential. I can come back to those. It's just really some value touches and stuff like that. So if you're wondering why he has a straight line there, it's because this is behind some like a 4x4, I think. And I don't know carpentry, but it is you would not see his tail. I should draw on his tail coming out though. I mean, monkeys come from somewhere, right? I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I basically don't know a lot of things, guys. Yeah, everybody in here is so smart. Like you guys have a lot of I can tell you guys have read some books. Let's see. I want this one to start here. So this should be white. And kind of follows along this sheet metal. At the beginning of this whole conversation, I was trying to wonder what this like. I knew it was sheet some another, tin some another, sheet metal, like sheet metal roofs and stuff like that. That's what this back here is. Ugh. I hate when I have that like I forget the word. This is why I really shouldn't be doing public speaking. Um, can't spell smart without art. Ah, I love it. Movie Prometheus. That's where that's the one where they that's the one with that thing in it. Okay, no, I remember Prometheus. Um, it's definitely a common theory that aliens have visited here in the past. I mean, Eric von Däniken, Chariots of the Gods. That was that was kind of the ancient aliens theory that he came up with. I think back in the 70s or something like that. Mostly read books about mental illness. I think everybody should do that, actually. Mental illness is probably the most common illnesses in humans. Everybody has some sort of mental illness. I believe that. We're only human. The uh, the human experience probably creates mental illness, to be honest. Some of us suffer more than others, but I do think it's part of the human experience to suffer some sort of mental illness at some point. Um, low level stuff like, mild depression, anxiety, things like that. I think that's just part of the human experience. Just read the Discworld series over and over. Oh, you guys ever read Anne Rice books? I think I mentioned, but I've been going back and I've been watching on AMC. They bought all the rights to her books and stuff, and they created some shows based on it, like Interview with the Vampire. That's actually pretty good. So I've been watching that lately. Trying to think what books I've got back here. Got some Anne Rice books. I've got some Dan Brown books in there. I read like a lot of like literature. I guess like classic literature. Like I don't know. I enjoy Shakespeare. I enjoy Mark Twain. I enjoy like I was trying to get through the 100 greatest books of all time list. I forget who put that out. I think it was New York Times. I got pretty far through that, so I've read like I don't know, like James Joyce, Kerouac, um, can remember John Steinbeck, um, Mark Twain, of course, um, J.D. Salinger. You guys know him. I did not know that, Marvel. I think I had heard something about early adulthood, but I'm definitely not well versed on that. It's impossible for humans or animals to travel more than 3 months into space without the proteins in their body to unwind and kill them. Life as we know it requires a proper magnetic field. How long does it take to get to Mars? Would you say more than 3 months? I'm trying to remember from The Martian with Matt Damon, how long that trip was. I want to say, just from memory, it was about 3 weeks. Oh, Anne Rice for Interview with the Vampire in 5 weeks? I didn't know that. Have you seen that show, Mama Q? The new one on AMC, not the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise one. but it's pretty good. Like it's not like 100% spot on adaptation, but it's there in spirit, and it's really good. I started watching that recently, even though it came out like last Halloween. I think there's a season two that's coming out soon, so I wanted to watch season one before it did. Yeah, I have some Forrest Fenn books. So I've got Thrill of the Chase and Once Upon a While. I never had Too Far to Walk. It was like $50, and I didn't think I would need it. That was, plus, I heard all the stories basically anyway, even though I didn't buy the book. So I never thought I'd need it, but apparently it has more info in that than any of his other books. Do people on the space station stay up there less than 3 months? I think they stay up there longer. I think trusted is saying if you travel away from the Earth, like if you lose that gravitational pull, like they're on the space station, you still have somewhat of Earth's gravity. I'm not an I'm not a scientist, or anything like that, so I don't really know for sure, but that'd be my guess of like what he was saying. Watching Big Brother now of all time things because of look I cannot. That's cool. I don't feel like people should judge each other for their viewing. Like, we all have our guilty pleasures. Like I listen to Taylor Swift. I'm gonna admit it. Like, I'm more of a indie rock kind of guy, but I like Taylor Swift. Everybody has their own guilty like pleasures. You should never have to apologize for things you like. So if you're watching Big Brother and you enjoy Big Brother, you don't need to apologize about it. We'll just make fun of you behind your back. That's all. I'm joking, of course. Another book by the same guy who wrote The Martian. Oh, cool. Called Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary. What's that about? Is it still about like space travel type stuff or space stuff? So there's all these white lines on this sheet metal, by the way. So like that's kind of what I'm drawing in is like basically some texture to that. So I know it doesn't look like I'm doing stuff because that doesn't show up on camera very well, but I'm actually kind of filling in some of the texture on this. It's basically a mix between white and gray. This is a fun night. If I forget to tell you guys later, I'm having a good time. I appreciate you guys coming in here and chatting with me about all these things. How's that noise? Just a strap, strap, strap. Cool space stuff. Yeah. Guilty pleasure music. Yeah. Um, Definitely Taylor Swift for me because, and it's not that I say it's a guilty pleasure because like I think there's anything wrong with Taylor Swift. Like everybody's got their own thing. Um, like if you just enjoy Taylor Swift, there's no reason why you should be guilty and like feel guilty about that. It's just for me, I'm kind of a snob when it comes to music. So like I tell everybody like pop music. I'm not into pop music. Um, so for me to be into pop music is actually kind of funny. So that's why I call it my guilty pleasure. There's nothing wrong with Taylor Swift. She's awesome. But if you run around saying that all pop music is like lame, then you really shouldn't be into pop music like I am sometimes. Yeah, Taylor Swift. Of all the pop people, and the reason why I don't like pop music is because like I don't find it authentic, right? I'm all about authenticity. So like when I listen to pop music, it just seems made up, like somebody decided these would be good lyrics or something like that. Um, But I feel like with Taylor Swift, it's a little genuine. People are selling their homes to see her in concert. Yikes. Yeah, don't worry about guilty pleasures, just shake it off. Ah, good stuff. That's my jam. Like whenever I'm in a bad mood or something. How can you listen to that song and not feel like better? Right. So I kind of like that. I like this to be more solid, so I'm gonna run over that one. I don't want that to look textured. I want it to look solid because it's kind of the base of this. So I'm not worried too much about details in these background things, but all right. So thin layers of gray. That one can probably be blended out a bit. Well, see, everybody likes Taylor Swift. Just bring up Taylor Swift. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. I like it. I really wish, and I respect copyrights and stuff like that. As an artist, you're kind of required to, because you wouldn't want people copying your stuff either. But it kind of sucks that I can't just like listen to, you know, like just have some music playing in the background or something. I guess I could probably subscribe to some service that would allow me to. Maybe I'll do that at some point in the future. But it would be fun to kind of share some of the music that I enjoy with you guys. And I think it'd be kind of cool if you guys shared some of the songs. In fact, I would like here. I do this with my friends sometimes. So like, I may not like your music, right? But I have no problem listening to whatever, right? Just to kind like I am kind of a snob when it comes to music, but it's like it's not because I don't give other music a chance. So I want to hear what you guys like. You can either drop a comment down below, or you can leave it here in the chat or something. I'll check it out eventually. But yeah, if you guys list off something you think I might enjoy, I'll listen to it. I'll let you know what I think of it too. I'll commit to that. All right, so now I got to get this wood in here, and this wood is kind of, well, before I do the wood, down here, there's a little bit of grass, so I wanted to get that in real quick. So like this is kind of some grass down here underneath the wood bench. And I kind of feel like I'm going overboard on some of this background stuff. Like probably if I had finished this picture already, I may have like ignored some of this background stuff. But since we're here anyway, we're just having fun. I'll continue drawing, but like continue drawing in the background. But usually, you know, if you get the main focus in, like, putting my artist hat on, like trying to describe what I'm doing, if you get the main focus in and stuff, you can kind of filter out the sides and everything like that, which I'll probably do to some extent, but I would probably do it for like little features like this grass down here. It's an unimportant piece, but I'm going to put it in just because I kind of like the composition because you know that this is wood over, say like a lawn or something like that. Touchtone telephone lemon demon. Okay. I will look that up, Marvel. I will look that up because I asked for suggestions and you gave me a suggestion. I will listen to that because I committed to it. And I will tell you what I think too, so it better be good. I'm not gonna pull any punches either. If it's bad, I will tell you you have terrible taste in music. I will say it nicely though. Like I don't feel like somebody should be offended if somebody told them that they have terrible taste in music. They should look at it as an opportunity to grow and listen to better music. I'm joking, of course. I honestly believe that musical tastes are like art. Everybody's got their own personal preference, and there is no right or wrong, and you shouldn't judge people for their musical taste. but I will. I will do it. I will judge you guys, but you really should. I just like music. I like music that's from the heart, that's sincere, not just something that's made to sell records or something like that. Um, yeah, country music. So I'm not a huge fan of country music, just because my parents listened to it and I kind of like wanted to go my own way. Um, but a lot of country music is sincere, and that's what I like about it. But something that is sincere, something that the people who wrote it really believe what they're saying, and they're not just writing. Trying to think of a famous song that everybody would know that I feel like is just kind of like written just to sell records or something, but I can't think of anything at the moment. And plus, I don't really want to pick on any artists, but because like for all I know, they are sincere in what they're doing. But like '80s hair bands, I as a person who liked the grunge music, I'm kind of like a little bit not into the hair bands. And I know there's people out there who do like them, so I will probably get an earful. But to me, like a lot of that stuff wasn't really sincere. Like the power ballads of the '80s or whatever, I feel like they were just written to sell records. There we go. That's my example. Country and death metal. Those are two totally different kinds of music. Somebody should do a mashup where it is country death metal. Like somebody should find some way to mash those two things together. Yeah, Taylor Swift is America's princess, and I think she deserves it. She seems very nice. She makes good songs. I have some friends that listen to metal, and I just don't get it. Like it just sounds like a bunch of noise to me. But I don't know. To each their own. Like really, I do think that music is a personal thing. So I can't judge people. Doggo's got a nice shiny yellow dog tag, so that's what I meant. Oh, Let It Be with Dolly Parton and Paul McCartney. That's got to sound nice. I don't think I've ever heard that, but just those two singing together, like Dolly Parton. So again, my parents used to listen to country music all the time, so I am aware of it. Even though like as I got older, I kind of went my own way. Um, but they used to listen to Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers all the time. Like that was like their go-to music. Growing up, all I remember is hearing Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers doing duets. Um, and like I remember they were so happy because they didn't go to concerts all that often, but when they were in town, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, and they were on it. They were like standing in line to get tickets. That's kind of cool. So like you can barely see it because of the lighting in here and stuff, but that collar or that dog tag is now kind of shiny. It's kind of cool. So I am kind of happy with this down here, but I feel like it needs a little bit of darker green in there, kind of. Yeah. Um, there's like sometimes I like to listen to stuff that is technically music, but it's not really kind of the music that most like. It's not really things that people generally consider music. Like for example, um, there's a there's a lo-fi girl chill hop station on YouTube that I listen to in the background when I'm working, just because it's like it's kind of like um, there's like a pattern to the music and stuff that is like really soothing. It's great for relaxing. It's great for like studying, things like that. And it's technically music, but it's got no lyrics to it most of the time and stuff like that. It's just noise to relax to. I like that. Um, and then I've got some musical taste that I really shouldn't have at my age because like I'm not old yet. I'm working on it, but like I like music from the 1940s, like the big band stuff. There's another station here on YouTube. I think it's Nemo's Dreamscapes or something. Again, it's that nice soothing music that you would listen to in the background. So they have like these pictures of like somebody just traveling on a train or something, like from the 1940s or whatever, and they'll be playing that big band kind of like jazz stuff in the background. I like listening to that just to relax, you know. Um, but again, that's not really my age bracket. Like some things are just classics, you know. Watch Gravity Falls. I've heard good things about that. I have not seen that yet. Do you recommend it? Squirrel Nut Zippers. I know them. Yeah, they're that ska band, right? Yeah, I'm into that. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna try to get some of this wood stuff in here, I think. Or that scratching. Okay. Phil Collins? No, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. Some Phil Collins isn't bad. I don't think there's any music that doesn't have a place, you know? Like, I feel like if I were to go around judging people on their taste in music, I'm being hypocritical as an artist because, like, I strongly do believe, like, and I'm being sincere about it, I'm not joking. I feel like art is really in the eye of the beholder, right? So, like, I can't go around saying, it's okay that not everybody likes my art. If I'm saying that, yeah, there's only one way to like music, that's not fair and it's hypocritical. So mostly I joke about some songs being bad, just in the same way that I would joke about some art being bad. Like I can go into like a gallery or a museum or something and look at a piece of art and say, "Oh, that's terrible," right? But I don't really believe that. Deep down inside, I just know that that's not art for me. It's just somebody else's art. Um, so, oh, you have to go early. All right, have a good one, Marble. Watch out for aliens. They're out there. I won't say they're coming for you. You might have nightmares or something. Beware of aliens, though. It was a good talk. I appreciate it. You brought up some fun things to talk about tonight. Oh, who's not Scott? Like Squirrel Nut Zippers? They're the I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. They came out when there was a lot of ska bands out there. What kind of style are they? Then who cares? It was around that time when ska was big. Are they the ones that do that song? No, that was a cake. I was thinking the sheep go to heaven, goats go to hell one. I do like Dolly Parton. Between her and Whitney's Houston version of like always like I will always love you or whatever the name of that song was, Dolly Parton sings it better, in my opinion. Again, it's tough to talk about music because more big jazz band type stuff. What do you? I mean, that's kind of ska. I don't know. I will educate on myself on that and come back with you and see if I still agree that way. Retro old timey and jazz, but like ska is kind of that. I don't know what I'm talking about here. I'm still clinging to it. I do like retro. Oh, if you're into if you're into retro old timey big band jazz, there is a band called Postmodern Jukebox, and you can find them here on YouTube. Um, but they do a lot of like modern songs, kind of like in old fashioned ways. So like, and it's different time periods. So they'll do like, I don't know, Snoop Dogg is like jazz, and they'll do other songs and stuff that are in like 1950 style. Some of it in big band style. Uh, it's one of like my favorite bands, to be honest, Postmodern Jukebox, just because it's so interesting to listen to. Like a hip hop song just done in like some old timey way or whatever. So if you're into like, just kind of retro throwback kind of music, check them out. I can definitely recommend them. They were going to be in town for a concert, and I'm still beating myself up that I didn't go and check them out just because I'm into like, I feel like I was actually born, a couple of generations too late because I am into like old timey stuff. Um, and it's different time periods really. Like I can watch like a show like Mad Men that was set in the 1960s, and I can really relate to that time period. But then I can watch something that's set in like the 1940s, and I can really relate to that as well. I just don't feel like I belong in this time period. I don't know what time period I belong in, but it is not now. And I say that, and I'm actually into like technology and things like that. I just feel like we've crossed a line here where I'm just not happy with. I like things like progress and stuff like that, but I feel like we may have progressed a little bit too far here, and we might be actually going backwards. Just in general, I'm not even talking about anything in particular, but just like I feel like I don't know. I feel like the world has become a little bit complicated, and um, I think there's a lot of benefit in just kind of slowing things down and just kind of relaxing a little bit and realizing that like not everything needs to be a struggle, not everything has to be like such high consequence, not everything has to be a competition. That's why I want to say I'm only kind of joking on whether or not something is good music or not because I really don't feel like it's a competition. Music, some songs may not resonate with you, but for certain they resonate with somebody else, at least the person who created it. So who am I to judge? I favor. Are you a time traveler? Well, I'd like to be. How's that? Sierra Farrell. I don't think I've heard her. No, that doesn't ring a bell. Um, yeah, I'd like to be a time traveler. That'd be awesome. I don't know. I really do feel like that the world just needs to slow down. Like it has gotten too big, too quick, too fast, and all the important things aren't as big of a deal as people make them out to be, and the things that people think are big deals usually aren't. They just want you to think that they are, and I don't know. It's just my philosophy. I feel like we should all just draw pictures and chill out. Wait for the aliens to like tell us what they're here for. I was not expecting that conversation tonight. I actually like the topic of aliens. I just don't understand it. Like, what are they doing here? Like, all right, I will check out Sierra Farrell for sure. Let me make a note. Barrel. Figure out squirrel nut zipper. Because I don't. I might be remembering it wrong. All right, that's my to do. Barrel two. Ah, there you go. All right, I will remember to do that later. Who says this show isn't educational? It's just me, the one that gets educated. All right, let's see. I feel like there's a lot of background in here that I haven't done. And I need to step it up some. I'm going to try to get through this kind of quickly and then add some texture to it. I don't feel like it needs like it's okay if some of the underpainting of the gray kind of shows through. I just want it to look like wood with the grains and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to focus on here. And then the bars on the other side, I feel like as it gets further away, I can just kind of like, kind of just like fade it out, I think. The gradient out. There you go. But let me get some base purple down here. And then, yeah, this goes all the way. Kind of lighten that up, get some of that yellow color in there. Ed Sheeran. I feel like I've heard Ed Sheeran. Sheeran? Yeah. Outlander. Have I ever seen that? I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it. I do like time travel shows. I am ashamed to say that I have not seen all the Doctor Who's. I've seen all the Doctor Who's with Amy Pond in it because I just love Karen Gillan. But yeah, I feel like there's just so many of them. I've been trying to catch up on them all, but it's kind of a tall order. A lot of people can't draw worth a shit, but you talk some real shit. Do you actually believe that, or do you believe people are actually believing that everything in the world are holographic? Hey, I got another book over there on the shelf about the holographic universe if you want to talk about that. I love that theory that the entire universe is a hologram. If you haven't seen it, Trusted, I think you'd be into that book, the Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. I think you would definitely be into some of those theories there. Um, it's kind of an interesting. So this is like, oh, thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can't take all the credit. It's just a beautiful dog, and if I draw it correctly, then it's going to be a beautiful picture. So I can't take credit for all the beauty. So Trusted, if you want to talk about the holographic universe, it's a little bit nerdy, but it's kind of interesting to me. Um, the way a hologram works, like an actual holographic film, is that a laser beam is sent through a beam splitter, and one half of the beam comes to rest on the photographic film directly, and then the other half is kind of like refracted or reflected, whatever the term is, and so it hits the film kind of like as a dispersed pattern, and what you end up with is what's called interference patterns on the holographic graphic film, and like an object that is being bounced off, the laser is being bounced off to create the holographic image is basically encoded in the film like literally everywhere, right? So like one of the defining features of a hologram or a holographic piece of film is that you can cut it up and every square inch of that film is going to have all the information encoded in it to create the entire image all over again. So like if this dog was a piece of holographic film, I could take this like little 1 inch corner here and in that 1 inch corner is all the information it needs to create the entire picture of the dog that I encoded, and that's kind of really fascinating. But basically, holograms work off of what's called an interference patterns. Like you may already know this. I'm just talking while I'm drawing, but holograms work off of interference patterns. And in that book, the holographic universe, he talks about like, well, you know, there's a lot of interference patterns in the universe. Like, what if the entire universe is a hologram? And I just love that theory. I don't know if it's correct. I don't know if the science is like pseudoscience or if there's like some real something of substance there. But I love that theory. It's so interesting to me that we could be living in a real matrix, you know? I just find that so fascinating. But I have no idea. Yeah, Outlander sounds really cool. It's been on my list. I haven't seen it yet that I know of. I think I might have watched one episode, or else it wouldn't have been so familiar to me. But I am down to watch anything you guys recommend. So if you guys want me to watch Outlander and let you know what I think of it, I'm into that. Give me tasks to do, guys. Give me homework. Because if I'm going to sit here and challenge you guys to draw pictures, and I think you all should be drawing pictures if you have the least bit interest in art, the least I can do is take your challenges as well. Hey, Tyler. I don't know if I said hi to you already, but if I didn't, hi, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying your Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Um, where's my, okay, with this one? Yeah. You can see that the sanded paper kind of wears down. Like I think this started off, you know, I think it started off basically like that one, and you can see how fast it wears down. It's basically because you're with these pastel pencils, you're basically coloring in on sandpaper. That's why it has that cool noise. Um, but it also just kind of grinds it down. The cool thing is, like, say I wanted to do like a fine detail, I'm basically sharpening my pencil as I go along, like without even trying. Let's see, there was another piece of wood up here. I think I'll come back and add some more color to this stuff later, but I just kind of wanted to kind of sketch it in at this point. And then yeah, I think I am just going to kind of like use my finger to kind of blend some of this stuff in so that I can kind of try to get some wood grain in there, you know? It's kind of weird to use your fingers to blend on this sanded paper too. What's weird is I wasn't planning on spending all week drawing this picture. It's just the way it worked out. I actually created some other sanded paper, like basically a square sheet. I was gonna, yeah. So like this right here also has that sanded thing, and it's like a square paper. I was gonna use this to draw something at some point, but I don't know. This week, this is what we're doing. So I kind of wanted to make this a little bit brown through here. Kind of make it like a little bit dirty and weathered. Kind of like in patches, almost like clouds. Before I darken my whole house to contemplate a lot. That sounds cool. That sounds like meditation, dude. I too like to sit in the dark. Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of cool things tonight, like aliens, hologram, time travel. You guys have some interesting things you guys are into. TV shows, vampires even. I guess that reminds me, yeah, Halloween's coming up soon. Oh, that's another show I like. FX. What we do in the shadows. That's a funny show. That's one of my guilty pleasures. Because the comedy is kind of like a little corny, but it's hilarious. I love that show. The guy on it, um, um, the British guy, he was also in IT Crowd, and played like the boss in IT Crowd. I just love that guy. He's hilarious. He's like a British guy. I forget his name. Um, Want to kind of keep the texture kind of going in the direction that the wood would be going. And I feel like when doing wood grains, if you just kind of draw like lines across and stuff like that, many of them end up looking like the wood grain itself. So you don't really have to do a lot of work to make it look right. You just kind of have to start with something like this and then kind of come back and touch it up. Um, I think I think for Lorraine's dog's picture, there was some wood panel on the wall and stuff. It's kind of similar, except that like when you're dealing with outdoor wood and stuff, it's probably roughed up a little bit more. It's probably seen some weather warping and things like that. But there's a couple of different colors. You have the base color, which is kind of like this kind of creamy tan or whatever, and then you have some browns in there. But then it's also a lot of gray because it's a like if you're doing a deck or something like that, or like a pier maybe, it starts to gray over time. That's when you get the power washer out there and just kind of like bring it back to natural look. Or you can stain it. You can stain your deck. I know people who do that. My own deck is just basically like weathered wood. The Ginger Inch Forest movie. Oh, that's that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You think that's gonna happen? I feel like you've been pretty persuasive. At some point, that guy's got to show that movie. That looks like just a fun time. Some movies are meant to be savored, and I feel like that's a savored kind of movie. So I kind of want to blend some of this, but not all of it. So I'm going to try just kind of blend in like certain areas just to kind of create that splotchy effect. But I don't want to blend too much because I don't want to take away some of that wood grain that I happened to put in by drawing those lines. So I'm just going to kind of spot blend. I don't know if this wood is matching the reference photo perfectly, but I like how it looks. Like it kind of looks like I don't know. He's sitting on like this could easily be blue, and it would look like he's sitting on a dock or something like that. Gigi's going to be watching this because like it's got her dog in it, and she's going to be like, "What the hell are you guys talking about tonight? Aliens and Taylor Swift? I mean, what is going on here?" That's kind of funny. funny because it's true. I mean, if he puts it up on Prime, we need a watch party because I think that is going to be spectacular. And I'm not even going to put it down or anything like that. I mean that completely in a like sincerely. That is going to be a spectacular movie. Wait through here. I've lost track of time. What are we on? Oh, we're coming up on 2 hours. Well, I'm just going to keep at this. It's up to you guys if you want to hang out with me or not. But I'm going to keep working on this just because I think it's nearing finish. I just want to put in, some more touches, and then I do want to add some more, black through here and stuff. But I'm not worried about that at this moment. I just wanted to make some progress on the background and finish up, his rear end. Hey, Hillary. Wolf. We're drawing a dog named Ringo. He's a good boy. Beautiful dog. I think maybe next week I'll do some more portraits. Been trying to think of like what all I want to try. I still have that watercolor series that I've been wanting to get back to. Took a small break from that. I think some of my charcoal pictures lately are probably some of my better ones, so I kind of want to explore that a little bit more. But I have to come back to the doggo pictures because I feel like that's really where I have the most fun. I love drawing dogs. At some point, I should start drawing some more animals, like cats. I don't know. I enjoy drawing cats as well. Halloween costume plan. Is there a costume party? Did somebody forget to send me an invite? I always have a costume. I've got costumes for days. Sure, I can put something together. Um, yeah, I like inventing costumes, kind of like at the last minute. This one year, back when people were still downloading from like Napster, I took a bunch of CDs and I Velcroed them to like I had this big pirate shirt with the billowy sleeves, and I had all these CDs Velcroed to me, and I had like a bandana on and a pirate hat and like a little eye patch. Oh, the eye patch was also a CD, and I went as a software pirate because that's what I was trying to go for. But then people thought I was like talking about like pirating music off of Napster, and I still have a picture of that somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it. But yeah, it was just a costume of like a pirate with a bunch of CDs attached to me, and it actually won me $50 in the costume contest. Like they thought it was the most unique um, costume, and all it was just a bunch of CDs Velcro to me. I don't even think it was my original idea. I think I saw it on I don't know what were people looking at back then. I think it was Dig, which was kind of like the early form of Reddit. Something Star Wars for Halloween. Yeah, could be a Jedi. That'd be fun. I do enjoy me some Star Wars. Oh, Chewbacca. That'd be fun. I need a lightsaber. That's what I need. I was down in Florida for a conference, and I had the opportunity to go to Galaxy's Edge there at um, whichever park that is. And I missed the opportunity because like I got busy at the conference and I just couldn't make it, and I regret it because I wanted to get a lightsaber while I was there. I think that would have been fun. Oh, and I wanted to see the Millennium Falcon. Any of you guys ever go there to Disney to see the Millennium Falcon? I think that looks awesome. And I wanted the like there's all these things I wanted to do. I wanted to drink the blue and green milk like milk and stuff that Luke Skywalker would drink on Tatooine. Yeah, you might say I'm a Star Wars fan. Stormtrooper, that would be awesome. I need to make a Stormtrooper costume. I feel like I could pull that off. Maybe get some parts 3D printed or use some foam. This show isn't just about drawing, it's about art projects in general. Maybe I should make a Halloween costume as part like for the show because like the show is really just about being creative. Like I've thought about doing sculptures on here and things like that. What Spider-Man picked his nose? I feel like this is the joke. Which one? Which Spider-Man picked his nose? Just saw the Millennium Falcon in Paris. Yeah, Hollywood Studio. No, it's not Hollywood Studios. Maybe it is Hollywood Studios. I don't know. It's the Galaxy Edge thing there. Maybe it is Hollywood Studios. I get that confused with Universal Studios where they have the Hogwarts thing, which is also something I wanted to go to, but I was too busy to do. I'm waiting for Kids Punchline. Peter Picker? Maybe. Um, yeah, maybe it was Hollywood Studios. I don't remember. Like, I never go to Disney, so like all of that stuff's lost on me. Butterbeer, there we go. So like, yeah, so it was. I was definitely. So I only really had time to go on one to one park, and I was torn, and I ended up not being able to go to either. But I was torn between whether or not I wanted to go to the Galaxy's Edge, and or the Hogwarts. The Hogwarts thing looks awesome. I would love to do that. I'm not a big fan of Disney, but like, I was there anyway. So I ended up staying at the Swan, the Dolphin Swan Resort Hotel or whatever it is. It's pretty cool. But I was there with my friend and my coworker really, and he has the cerebral palsy, so it was tough for him to get around. So it was a bit challenging to get. Oh, he had to get rid of the Green Goblin. That's good. I knew there was a joke there. Why did Spider-Man pick his nose? He had to get rid of the Green Goblin. That's priceless. Yeah. So anyway, I was there with a coworker who had cerebral palsy, so he had trouble getting around. So we kind of had to limit our movements. But we were staying at the Swan Dolphin, and it's kind of funny because like I didn't like I thought it was like tough to like because we didn't have a rental car or anything like that. So I was going to take like an Uber to just go and get something to eat, but I ended up eating at the Swan Dolphin Hotel like for the entire week I was there, and I'm like, man, this is expensive. This is like a waste of money. It didn't even dawn on me that you can have like Uber Eats or Grubhub delivered to the place. Like I didn't realize that until like the last day, but that place is expensive. Disneyland on Halloween sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds really cool. And then some people like have talked about Halloween in Las Vegas. That sounds awesome too. So what would you guys dress as? Like Lorraine, what would you dress as? Mama Q, kid, who cares? You guys have uh you guys have Halloween costumes in mind already? I like to scare people on Halloween. Like I could get into something like really scary as a costume. That sounds like fun. I feel like Halloween's supposed to be scary. If it's not scary, it's just like I don't know, like a prank day. So at this point, I think most of my major features are in, and I'm just kind of reinforcing values. Making some colors a little more pronounced, making some features a little more pronounced, but the bulk of it's in there, so that's cool. I feel less concerned about it as I was before. Like there's still some like wood grain and I guess that I need to get in here. Oh, married on Halloween. Well, happy anniversary then. It's only August, guys. I don't know why we're talking about Halloween. Happy early anniversary. That's cool. I bet you. So, if you got married on Halloween, was it in costume? Oh, sorry, I missed a joke here. What kind of car does a Jedi drive? Want to hear the punchline on that one? All right, have a good one, Tyler. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on anyway. I'll probably wrap this up soon. Oh, Mama Q, you didn't tell the punchline. Now I need to know like what kind of car a Jedi drives. Unless you're actually asking, in which case, well, Ben Kenobi was driving around in that flying car, so that's what kind of car he drives. And then sometimes they drive around in the land speeders. Like I feel like there's a technical answer to this question. See, a pirate probably. Yeah, a pirate would be cool. Pirate's a nice go-to. Like you can never go wrong dressing as a pirate for Halloween. A pirate for women, if you dress as witches, that's kind of a classic. I think for guys, pirates are probably really good. Um, like the old like worst case scenario, just put a sheet over your head and carve two like little eye holes out, and you've got a costume. The rehearsal dinner was a costume party. That sounds great, Hillary. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a pretty fun wedding. It's kind of whimsically putting in these wood grains on these poles or posts, I guess they would be. Kind of blend some of these out a bit. I kind of like actually drawing wood grains. Like the problem is you can't get them perfect, right? So like if you're trying to my pro tip tonight, I guess, if you're trying to draw wood grains and make it match your reference or something, good luck. Because like I feel like you just kind of have to be a little whimsical with it and kind of like let it kind of take its own natural course. And you can try to get the basic pattern of the wood, but I don't think you can duplicate it perfectly, or at least I don't have the skill level to or desire to. I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. I don't think it's necessary, so therefore I don't have the desire to. It doesn't have to look exactly like the wood you see in the picture unless for some reason you feel like you have to do that. But I am not concerned. I think as long as it looks like natural wood, like you're able to convey the idea that it's wood, then I think you're good. Nancy Brew for Halloween? That sounds great. That sounds cool. Frankenstein and the Bride of the Frankenstein on the cake. You sound like fun people, guys. You guys really know how to have a party for Halloween. Yeah, some people. Yeah, that's a great point, Willie Nelly. Some people like Halloween more than Christmas. I agree with that. They're just two different holidays, really. And so, like, I don't know, like Halloween, like Christmas is a little more sentimental than Halloween. Like, you're supposed to have fun on Halloween. On Halloween, you're supposed to have a lot of fun. Christmas can mean a bunch of different things. Like for some people, it's about the joy of the holiday season. For other people, it's like about spending time with friends and family. Sometimes it's just a good time to wind down because you're not at work or whatever. Whatever, however you celebrate Christmas, I think you would agree that it's not like Halloween. Halloween is just meant to be fun. Some people don't celebrate Halloween, and that's just because they're not fun. Yeah. Um, a little bit of white. I think that looks believable as like kind of a wooden post. Good job, Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy, you're a very good artist. Well, that's very nice of you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. You know what, Jeremy? You're also a great artist. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I'm glad that we could have this talk. No problem, Jeremy. Anytime. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just talking to myself. I'd be like, yeah. Did you ever say? I felt like you left a joke hanging there, Mama Q. Like, what kind of car does the Jedi drive? I felt like there was a punchline there. I may have missed it. If you said what the punchline is, I missed it, but I was looking forward to it. Bring back the punchline, Mama Q, please. Don't leave me hanging. Happy Friday, folks. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to wrap this up soon so that you guys can enjoy the rest of your Friday. I think really all that I have left here is to just kind of like put in some more texture on these blocks of wood, and I can call it done. I feel comfortable putting it up. Um, you know, it's basically finished. I might do some touch ups on it and stuff before I send it out to Gigi. Um, if she even wants me to send it to her, I haven't worked that out with her yet. But I think I'll put a few more details on it, but it's essentially done. Oh, Toyota. That was worth the wait. Yeah. Oh man, I missed that. That sucks. That's hilarious. Now that you mention it, I think I've heard that one before, but that's pretty good. Yeah. So this dog is. I don't know if you know Gallatin Ghost. She's been in here a few times. You probably know her, or at least heard of her. This is her dog, Ringo. It is a healer dog, basically her hiking partner, beloved, and all around good boy. I don't know the dog personally, but I have since fallen in love with the picture of the dog. The very beautiful dog. So this isn't just like a random dog. This is a Gallatin Ghost's dog. If you guys want, I will show you the reference picture. So this is what I've got so far, since we're wrapping it up anyway. So this is what I've got so far, and this is a reference photo. So as you can see, the reference photo has some more darker values. I'm going to try to do that and try to get that in. Maybe some more texture on the wood. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see the screen, but the wooden posts on either side of the drawing, I don't know what's to the right, so I'm gonna have to kind of use my imagination and figure that out. But if I go back to the full view, you can see it's pretty close. Like it's pretty close. I think now that this is up, I can kind of point out areas that I would change. So I think that this needs a little bit more work in terms of like getting some detail in there. So that's not It looks kind of a little flat right now. Through here, definitely needs some, well, thank you guys. You guys are so nice to me. I appreciate it. I think through here needs a little bit of work. And then I'm not happy with how faded the background is. I feel like I can get some more color in there before I call it done. But, you know, it's kind of tough at night to work because of the lighting and stuff. So I don't really know what areas here, because like I do have this gray undertone, so I can't tell here what is gray and what is wood. I'm gonna have to worry about that later. But yeah, so reference, what I got so far. Yeah, even through here, I think can be a little bit darker and maybe a little bit of blue as well. So yeah, but I'm happy with it. At least the dog is all there. If you go back to the beginning of this film, the dog didn't have a butt, you know, and like he was on like wood, but you couldn't see it. It was kind of sketched in. Yeah, I love the markings on this dog. So beautiful. Ringo is his name, but oh, and I asked if it was named for Ringo, the beetle. No, it's named for some other Ringo. I forget the details on that, but if you guys know Gigi and talk to her, you can ask her for the details. I'm terrible with remembering details like that, but anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. It's been 2 hours 10 minutes and stuff, and I usually don't like to go longer than 2 hours, just as like a goal. But yeah, Ringo. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Friday night. I'm glad that you like this. I think it's coming along really well. Maybe I don't know, maybe another half hour of work or something like that, and I think it'll be done. And then of course I need to sign it, and we can call it fully finished. But yeah, so like every Friday night, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Next week, I'll bring you guys some new stuff. I'll try to think of something really interesting to draw for you guys. If there's any suggestions, feel free to drop them down in the comment box. I'm always looking for, some, yeah, the God Stripes, so the Bentley mark. Yeah, exactly, Mama Q. That was a request from Gigi that she really wanted to make sure was in there. If I go back to it, that's this mark here. That's where he was touched by, and said, "Good boy," But anyway, yeah. So you got to think about what you might want for me to draw. Throw them in the comment box. If you're, there might be some lurkers in here. I think everybody in here, like you guys are regulars and stuff. But if there's any lurkers out there, feel free to subscribe if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Bear's making her cameo like she always does. She knows exactly when this thing's over. She wants to get in the shot. All right. But you guys have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys. I'm going to try to do Wednesday again. If I get bored, I might do it Monday, but definitely a Wednesday. But until then, you guys have a good time. Bye.